Have you ever wondered what your RV says about you? Well, in many cases, the type of vehicle you choose to drive may in fact reflect a considerable amount of your personality. Whether it's by the make or model, the color, or size, our vehicles can often hint at the way we approach life, giving the outside world an inside look to who we are as people. So when you find yourself amongst the assortment of vehicles at a campground, it's interesting to discover just who's behind the wheel of an RV based on its appearance. And during our exploration at the R Village Rally, we couldn't help but notice this beast and couldn't wait to find out who it belongs to.
I'm Pat Ryan.
And I'm Chris Ryan.
We're from Toledo, Ohio.
It may not seem like the obvious choice for these two, but considering Pat is a former Army officer and Chris an RVing veteran, this robust rig actually merges the couple's individual preferences into one eye-catching design, which ultimately makes perfect sense for them both.
I'm a retired U.S. Army guy, so that naturally led me to a less than normal RV, let's say, and we came upon the Beast that you see behind us, and that's what everybody calls it, the Beast. And I wanted a vehicle that wasn't quite your run-of-the-mill RV, and wanted to go off the beaten path a little bit more than a normal RV is normally capable of doing. So for me, this was kind of a dream vehicle in that regard.
This dream vehicle is without fail a true example of quality German engineering, and although it looks like an expedition vehicle, able to withstand even the most extreme conditions, its purpose was in fact specifically intended for RVing, with a hard utilitarian exterior enveloping the snug and functional comforts of home on the inside. So what is this powerhouse called?
It's called a Unicat. The RV portion of it's manufactured in Germany by a company called Unicat. This one was built on an international chassis. They don't normally put them on U.S. trucks, but the background on this was in 2008, a gentleman wanted to become the dealer for Unicat in the U.S. He had two vehicles made, this one and another one on a little bit bigger international chassis. Unfortunately, 2008 was when the economy took a dive. International decided not to build this vehicle any longer, so they put all this engineering into this vehicle, and essentially it became a one-of-a-kind.
And while this one-of-a-kind rig is the fifth motorhome on Chris's RV roster, who began traveling with her family at a young age, it's actually Pat's first, who's just starting out, but is certainly enjoying the ride.
No, I mean, other than my, Army sleeping in tents kind of thing, no, RVing's a new experience for me.
I think the interesting thing is your experience is, let's go backpacking, let's go climb that mountain. And my experience is, can I have my air conditioner and my microwave, please, and my full hookup? So I think that this kind of is a nice compromise for us because, we can do some light backpacking during the day, but I know that when we come home, I've got an air conditioner and a shower waiting for me.
Yeah, and now that I'm older, I don't mind those creature comforts at all, trust me.
As for the rugged features that enable the Unicat and its occupants to survive everything from the sweltering desert to the frigid cold tundra, Pat and Chris say they're in no rush to test the limits of their beast off-grid, but rather enjoy taking it slow and planting their wheels at a campsite where they can benefit from all the hookups and get to know their fellow travelers, most of which whose RVing lifestyle surely contributes to keeping them young at heart.
Yeah, I mean, we're having fun. I tell myself I'm an 18-year-old stuck in a 63-year-old man's body at this point. I'm not the lean, mean airborne ranger I used to be, but still loving life. I think this is a great way to spend time after, I spent 20 years in the Army and then 20 years in the corporate world. And I'd gladly trade my 20 years in the corporate world, and do it in the Army. So, just having this freedom now to not have to get up in the morning, not have to really do anything. It's a great life, as far as I'm concerned.
And we'll stay in this vehicle until we can't do the steps anymore.
And then maybe we get something else.
Yeah.
But until then, Pat and Chris remain the perfect example of how certain characteristics of the vehicle you drive can reflect those of the owners behind the wheel. Because without a doubt, this power couple is as rock solid as their rig.